First, there was the 1967 novel that informed an entire generation. Then the 1983 movie that turned actors into superstars and left millions of fans forever changed. Now, The Outsiders is reimagined as a musical that is staged in such a groundbreaking way, its superfans come back time and again saying, how'd they do that? It is the winner of the Tony Award for Best Musical, and we talked with playwright Adam Rapp, who co-wrote the book for this show, which is headed to Charlotte in 2026. What was your first interaction with the story of The Outsiders? Were you a kid just like all of us?
I went to a military academy for high school. It's called St. John Military Academy, and it's in Delafield, Wisconsin. It was a great books class my sophomore year. Ponyboy's voice really kind of captivated me. I didn't know novels could be that. I think it's the reason why I started reading. So it has pretty intense roots for me. I didn't know I was going to write, and I didn't know I was going to write plays or novels till much, much, much later. But I think it's one of the earliest books I read that I enjoyed and that I wanted to know what happened, and I kept turning the page.
You've done a lot of writing. You hadn't done this before.
I had no idea what I was getting into. I had never written a musical, the book for a musical before. I wasn't sure what they wanted from me. So I just showed up and I kind of pitched the world of the play like how I would pitch the world of anything that I'm doing, whether it's a TV show or a new play or even a novel to an editor. And I think they responded because I had such a personal connection.
There's so many feelings in this show. This is a big feeling show, and it's unusual because it's a bunch of young teenage boys having all of these big feelings very openly in a room. What is the power in that? I mean, everyone around us at certain points were gasping, crying, having feelings as well.
Susie Hinton, when she was writing it when she was 15 and 16, her gaze from a young woman onto she was inspired to write this novel because she saw a lonely kid in the cafeteria hanging out by himself, and that's where Johnny came from. You know, I've heard from a lot of people that like the reason why the novel works and the film works and our play works so much is because it's what women wish young boys could be. Because they're tough, but they're also expressing themselves. They're inarticulate, but they're emotionally striving. So we set a kind of a code for ourselves or a mandate for ourselves, which was the only time they're going to be able to sing is when they can't articulate what they need to articulate. And I think because of that, those stakes are raised.
I want to talk about the Rumble. Everyone sits up in their seat a little bit straighter if they know that's coming. I mean, that is something that people do not see on stage. And it could have simply been a fight, just a big, messy fight. It was very intentionally not a messy fight. I also feel like music, all of a sudden, no music, and this big choreographed thing. Talk about the intentionality of that.
Yeah, well, when we were writing it, it's one of my favorite moments in the movie is the Rumble, and we were discussing how to score it. And then it was Justin Levine and I think we both said, well, what if we don't have any music and it's just the sound of bodies, fists detonating on bodies, and we have all this music and it's a musical, but let's take some crazy risk here and try to do something experimental. And tell the story of fighting through that. Now there are sound effects, and we have to have a certain amount of sound effects, otherwise the Coopermans couldn't create choreographic moments and have them tied to trigger points, because the performers have to have those. But yeah, we made it a collective decision to just have it be no music, no score, just the sound of boys fighting. The thing that I remember writing was it should feel like a battlefield in some war, and all the boys should be covered in mud, and you can't even tell what a Soch is and what a greaser is, and then you see the greasers kind of slowly get up out of the muck. And they achieved that.
Superfans in Charlotte know this show, they know it's coming, and they keep saying, how are they going to do that? How are they going to do that in Charlotte?
They're going to do it. I think we're going to do full rain, full dirt, the whole thing. I mean, we have a big truck of dirt. It's not dirt, it's actually ground up radial tires, essentially, is the same substance. It's just about getting the rain, the water tanks set up, and we're doing fire, the whole thing.
These young men have become, oh my gosh, the first time I saw it, did stage door, it was like a boy band was coming out. Yesterday, did stage door, 8 people deep, trying to see these kids. Talk about that thing that doesn't often happen, where you have these young men probably many of them just kind of starting, right? Is the first big thing.
Yeah.
And their lives are changed by this.
Yeah, all of them. In fact, they were all pretty much unknown. My little brother was the lead in Rent.
Yeah, go ahead and name drop that.
Yeah, so Anthony Rapp is my little brother. I was living with him when Rent came to be, so I saw something similar, right? I saw a younger generation of theater goers hitting the stage door. I had never seen anything like what's going on with our show. 1,100 seat theater, and it was like mostly teenagers. And I was like, are they getting free tickets? Like, what's going on? And a lot of it was like a 14-year-old kid with his mother. And that's what's so cool about what's happening. There's a parent who read it in high school. Now their kid's reading it in junior high or high school, and we're going to see the show together. And these like little fiefdoms of fans would show up, and now they're like wearing costumes. You know, I could not have anticipated this. And the thing that makes me so excited is that a whole new generation of people are figuring out how to get to the theater.
You can see Outsiders starting February 3rd, running through February 8th, 2026 at Belk Theater.